racist. How does he compare to his classmates when it comes to the racist attitudes? Is he better, worse? Explain.
I mean,
Wow.
Okay, Sydney, you.
you're leaving now. You go.
Oh, no, you can go for me.
I think that sometimes throughout it he was racist, but other times it was like one until the end.
I think, like, I mean, I don't know, would you consider idolizing another race racist? So that's pretty much what
I was
he did.
thinking
Jen
about that.
idolized pretty much the white race. But at the same time, he was racist towards his own race. Yeah. I think that's what makes it worse. Because if you can't accept yourself, why? There's no point of even accepting somebody else when you have to live in your own skin.
I mean, isn't it believing in like a superior race? That's kind of like racism, right?
Well, this
So
is
like
what-
even if it's not yours, I think it's still fair to
But with racism has to do with power. So I don't think a minority could really be racist. Because no, here, hold on, let me look. I'm about to read the definition. I might get wrong. I'm about to read the definition of racist.
But see, the definition of racism has changed so much.
I know.
I'm gonna disagree with you, Mari, and I'm gonna say that anyone could be racist, I think, and it's just like depends on like how you're racist, but yeah, I think anyone can be racist. I think personal opinion.
Is racist because he was kind of making fun of Wei Chen when he first got there, like, oh, you need to speak English or whatever, and then he was flying like fresh off the boat and just making comments and stuff about
I also think it's worse because he knows, like, personally what it feels like to be discriminated against. So I think it's worse if you put, like, that discrimination on another person. So I think it's worse.
I had the same thought as Sammy, because on page 31, Jen was talking to Wei Chen, like, right when he moved, and told him to speak English. And I think it's just because Jen, when he first moved, he was discouraged by all the other kids and the teachers. So I feel like he just at first wanted to make it feel.
Yeah, to go off that, I think that Jimmy like says things that he like doesn't really mean, but just like says it to make him feel better and to make him feel like he's more like a part of like what he wants to be, which is like white, I guess. And then like on page 191 when Jim calls Wei Chen and FOB, I think that like Jen is just frustrated with himself that he's being discriminated against, so he just throws Wei Chen under the bus, who might be like less higher status than Jen.
See, I don't think that he was just trying to be mean so he felt the pain. Like when he first met Wei Chen, I think it was because he didn't want to be associated with another person for another reason. Wait,
Same reason why he didn't talk to that girl.
Yeah, like he didn't talk to the one Asian girl. Like he didn't want to talk to Wei Chen because it was just gonna go right back to him. Oh, you hang out with all these Asians, you're just another one of the FOBs. Like he just didn't want to surround himself with more of that.
Yeah, and I think part of that is because of the taunting, I guess, he gets from like Jimmy and his friends, especially on page 96, which is when Jimmy is like, Chin gets getting, or Chin gets getting dinky out here, and like I have two bunks or whatever that particular phrase was. I just don't think Jin wants to be associated, or like the target of that type of discrimination. So I think he's just trying to like ditch his, I don't want to say ditch his race, because he can't do that, but like
Ditch his culture.
Yeah, ditch his culture and just like kind of become more assimilated into American culture and be like more white to avoid those racist conflicts.
Yeah, I agree with Max on that. And just another example is on page 33 when they say, let's leave Bucktooth alone. So he's kind of embarrassed and is just trying to go away from his culture and what others think of him.
One off that, on page 37, when Wei Chen asked Jin Wang if he was Chinese and stuff, Jin Yang like didn't really want to talk to him or anything, so I agree with like Martin and stuff, how he didn't want to, or how he didn't want to like associate with that culture.
So my answer to the question was I don't think he's being racist. I see it all the time with people say hate culture and stuff like that. So I don't believe that's racist.
I have a question. So if you're discriminating against like your own culture, is that considered racism?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It definitely is.
So it doesn't matter if it's like your culture or not, you're still like.
You're still making fun of a race. You're still being disrespectful towards your race. That's racism, even if it is your own race.
And discrimination can also be with like age, gender, anything. So that people definitely discriminate.
And if you think of it, during the Holocaust, I'm pretty sure there's like Jews who were
Who
like,
thought they were better?
yeah, there's Jews who were like in command of like the other, at the concentration camps and stuff.
And just like with slavery
So
too.
does that mean that's okay? Yeah, in slavery, so.
Well, this question made me think of Crash when we watched it, and it's kind of like about how everybody's racist, or at least discriminatory, which is sort of an interesting moral of a story, but it made me think about that that idea, and I think that Jin probably is racist, but I think that because he's the minority, that's so obvious, why did I even say that? Anyway, just something about like, no matter what the race is or the line of discrimination is, if you're part of a smaller group than the majority in any nation or place, I just feel like you're gonna be discriminated against in one way or another. So I think that it doesn't make you not racist to be discriminated against. I just think that, yeah.
Wait, so you're
That's my
saying if someone's racist towards you, that makes you racist?
No, okay, so I think that
I'm sorry.
no matter where you go, like, everybody's kind of racist, especially if you're a minority in some way compared to everyone else. So I think that just because you are the minority at that given time does not make you not racist.
Right,
It doesn't
yeah,
make you racist,
okay.
but like, it doesn't mean that because you're a victim, you can't also have thoughts that are racist for some reason or another.
Yeah, I hear you.
I think he is racist. I believe he is really similar, if not, well, I think he's really similar in the way that he thinks, but I kind of saw at the beginning of the book he doesn't really act on it. I changed my opinion then to I think he is racist, and I believe he is just as bad as the other kids who make fun of him because of his, his phenotype and his skin color and everything. Because especially when he decides to change his hair color, or I'm sorry, his hair shape or style to the white guy that he knows. I
Wait,
believe.
you thought he was racist in the beginning and then, or racist at the beginning and then you thought he wasn't?
No, I thought he was racist all the way
I think it's
through.
the opposite.
Well,
Because
let's
he
hear
was being
Mike's
discriminated
side.
at first in the beginning, and then we see him discriminating later on.
Yeah, because
So-
he was super Asian and
Against,
then,
discriminated against his own.
no, well, that was racist, but, no, I don't know, never mind.
So do you guys think that Jin is better or worse than his racist friend?
I think it's the same.
Oh,
I think, I would say that he's not, like, he's still racist, but I don't think he's as racist as his friends and stuff, because I don't think he, like, shows it as much as everyone else.
So when you say friends, you mean like the
Yeah,
Reagan?
like Jimmy and.
The white
No,
ones.
I think he's
Anyways,
worse.
I think he's worse, cause it's like, how do I put this? I have it all put it out in my head.
Is it worse because he's a minority?
Yes, because he's a minority discriminating against, not discriminating, but judging and all that against his own race. It's like, he wants them to start acting more American, start doing all this, but at the same time, in his head, he's thinking bad things about him. I think it's worse.
I think that you should all, I think that, well, Jin did something that those bullies never did to Jin, and when Jin was racist, he sort of took it out on Wei Chen a lot, and he, at the end of the book, took the time to like apologize and, reignite his relationship with Wei Chen, and I think that's something that those bullies never did, because like their racism sort of came from like that weird like fear type racism that's white people have a lot, and I think that they never wanted to, like, that shows that they actually believed what they said a lot more than Jin, And that's why I think Jin is better, cause like, he was just saying all these like, he was just trying to diss Wei Chen essentially, and those were all the disses that he ever heard, so maybe that's just what he was doing, instead of like, actually having these racist feelings about Wei Chen.
Were some of those, do you think in like Chin's mind, some of those things were like he was being helpful in ways, like telling him like, oh, don't do this or you'll get crap for it? Or do you think he was
I
strictly
think
trying to
he
be
was
mean?
purposely just trying to be.
He was
Like-
doing what they were doing to him, just like when Greg told him to stay away from Amelia. He told Wai Chen that he wasn't good enough for the girl, just like, cause he's doing what they were doing to him. He was never trying to be helpful.
What if, we have about a minute, just letting you guys know.
And Wei Chen is not his race also, is something to think about. He's from Taiwan, which is like under Chinese government control, but like they're not the same place, and like they definitely don't think that they're the same race,
If
so
we go back to the beginning of
there's
the
that to
book,
think about.
if we go back to the beginning
My
of the
aunt was
book,
Korean, I had a Korean.
if we go back to the beginning of the book, Jin, like, when we first like saw him in like page 25 or something, he was like hanging out with all his Asian buddies watching like cartoons in Chinatown in San Francisco, I believe. So it wasn't until he moved to the school where people were making fun of him for his race and stuff that he started to be more racist, just because he wanted to conform to society. And so I don't think he was racist. I think he just wanted to fit in.
Going off of what Nick and Mom said, I think he kind of wanted to fit in, but then also, like, when he told Wei Chen that he didn't have a chance with his girlfriend or something along those lines, I think it was kind of because he was angry that he, like, couldn't be with Amelia because of, like, his race and it, like, be embarrassing for her.
I think that he is, I think he was racist, going back to what I said before. He ended up acting, I think the only difference between him and his friends is that his friends acted upon their racist thoughts first by using slurs and names against him, and then later on, when he decides to physically act upon his hairstyle to try to conform to look like a white counterpart, I believe that both having those actions make them equally as racist. So I don't think either one is better than the other, equally as racist.
What a great closing statement.